All right, guys, we are live for an emergency episode, and we got Walter Martin joining us. We got IFBB Pro Albus Katabi joining us. Man, welcome to the show for the first time.
How are you?
Good, good. This is an impromptu live stream. Normally don't do one on Friday, but because Bob Cicherillo is in panic mode and he's probably going to respond to my petition and all these things and the Masters Olympia, all that stuff. So we wanted to kind of just do a reaction to these guys, hold them accountable. We're going to get into the live chat with them. We're going to ask them questions and see if they answer these questions. So I'm going to share my screen here. Now a lot of this is going to be them just talking whatever about whatever they need to talk about, because it's question and answer. So there's going to be topics that don't necessarily relate to what we want to hear them say, but we're going to see if Bob comes clean and apologizes
He
to
won't.
Walter and to the Masters. Okay, but we're going to talk to Abbas here a bit too about some stuff. Can shoot the shit while we wait. And this is going to be good. This is going to be fun. We're just having fun on a Friday afternoon here. Why not? See what Bob and Sean Ray talk about here. So I got to kind of listen in the background so to see when they start talking about us. But here, let me share my screen here while we do this so you can see what I see. Let me do this first. Then we can get into this.
Yeah, I still can't see anything.
Yeah, I'm just going to share. I got to share here, guys.
Oh, okay.
North of 40 by now. We've been waiting for him to arrive for quite some time.
Can you
It's
see
been a
that?
minute since
Yeah.
he's
There
basked
we go.
in the limelight.
Can you hear them?
If I'm not mistaken, was his last victory like the New York Pro some years ago? But he came out to California not too long ago, I think 2 years ago, and was like third. But he's the promise that we're still waiting to be delivered, right? I mean, this guy's been around for a hot minute.
guys can
This
hear
is
that?
not
Yeah.
the
Okay,
strongest
good.
lineup.
Let's make sure you guys can hear.
And the question is, if you win,
No,
So
I
yeah,
can't.
like I
do you
said,
go to the
they're
Olympia?
gonna.
You know,
I'll
I
play
mean,
it
you're
lightly in
only
the
as good as the guy
background,
you stand next
and
to
then
and
when
beat.
they start
Well,
to
listen,
talk about
anybody who wins this has to go to
what
the
we think they're
Olympia.
going to
That's
talk
a
about,
given. I don't care what the
then we'll
circumstances.
start
If
replying
you
to
ain't
it.
going on a show this late
But the
for
main
the
thing
early
is here:
surprise for the early bird special
are they going
for
to
next year, here's some
apologize?
comments that are starting to roll in.
Right.
Here's our buddy Ron
Walter will be
Harris.
back.
Ron,
He's,
you know
he's
we
in his
love you,
car,
man. He
so
says
he
if you
might have
want
a
to
little
send
bit
me
of
a
a
link,
Wi-Fi issue.
I'll be happy to.
But Abbas, man, first off,
It's hard
welcome
to hear you,
I'll be
man.
happy to
to the
show
show.
and prove that I do have nuts.
First off,
Ron
tell us,
has
give us a little update on yourself,
not Ron
Abbas.
Harris.
Where are you right
Yeah, it's
now?
Ron
And a
Harris.
little bit
Yeah.
what
Ron
you've
Harris
been up
from
to while we
what's
wait
Who's
for
concerned
Bob.
there?
Yeah,
Bob.
you know, because we
Ron
gave
is
him
about as
Good.
PC as they come. I want to see these nuts. Show me
No,
these nuts
listen,
you're talking about.
Can you hear
you
me
know
okay,
what?
Abbas?
Listen, Ron, great that you're tuning
Can you
in.
turn
Yeah,
those
you
down?
know, we love you like a big family. So yeah, we
Can you hear
give
me
each
now?
other a little jab here and there about different things.
Too loud.
And hey, listen, personally, Ron, congratulations to you. He left that dirty show.
Here, I turned it
He's
down.
the guy that just did not fit in
Here,
over there.
one second.
And
Let me
of
mute
course,
this.
we're
That's
talking
what's
about
going
muscle
on.
discord.
There, can you hear me now?
Oh, much better. Yeah.
There you go. Sorry, because I'm here. I'm trying to see how to listen in to when they're going to start talking about us. So if they do, we're going to see. We're going to see. But Abbas, you have some things to say too. I'm assuming about Mr. Bob Cicherillo.
Well, we can
And
either do it today or we can wait till Monday. Like
well,
you do
we'll
in
wait.
the
We'll wait till
scheduled
we'll wait
program.
till Monday. We'll wait till Monday to really get. I know you have a story that you want to share. We don't share that story. You want to get off your chest
Yeah.
here. We'll save that for Monday. But yeah,
Listen, first of all, this guy's not
give us your
gonna
take on this whole situation.
The whole thing. This guy, it's plain and simple. This guy's an MC. Okay. If you want to be a commentator, be a commentator, but you got to separate yourself from being an
Chime
MC.
in with an opinion. Kind of.
Okay,
of
this way.
Mr. Olympia.
Let's see if they're talking about us right now, guys. If you're in the chat and you can hear them talking about us, let us know too, because I got to try and monitor both things here. 1 second.
Lick the envelope, send it off in the mail. However long it takes, you got to wait for the editor to open that envelope, read it,
Right.
and then try to decide whether it's worthy of being published in a magazine that would come out 3 months later.
Okay, so no, they're not talking about it yet. All right, sorry, I should cut you off there, Abbas.
Yeah. What were we saying here? I don't know. All I got to say is it's very simple. Everybody wants to twist it, play these little worm games, and be a bunch of kiss asses because everybody's so worried about placings in the sport. And I think after decades, it's just getting time that people are actually coming up and speaking, and it's time to it needs to be changed. Things need to be changed. Enough is enough. I mean, I came up at a time where you had to pay your dues, okay? And when it was your time to win, whether or not you really looked good, and it was your time to win, they still pushed you through, and that was pretty shitty, to be honest. Because there was guys where I was coming up where the first place guy did not deserve to win, even though he had done the USAs or North Americans or Nationals 3 times. They let him win because it was his time. But back in the day, it was 40 guys per weight class, 1 overall winner for the USAs, 1 overall winner for the North Americans, and then each weight class got their pro card. So essentially, you're probably giving out only 8 pro cards a year for men, compared to how many hundreds now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it definitely is a lot. We were talking about that today at North American, just how many it is. Like when I first started, they just started adding more pro cards. But now, like I took the pro off of my name on everything because it just makes me feel stupid. I don't even say I'm a pro bodybuilder anymore.
You're right. I understand what you're saying. I was about to do the same thing too, because right now there's no prestige to it.
No, I remember this guy told me he's a pro bodybuilder, and I looked at him, and no disrespect, but I was like, in IFBB, he said, yeah, and I was like, oh, okay. I congratulated him, and I took it off because I was like, you just turned pro, and I think he was like 150 pounds,
With because they live outside the United States.
Sorry.
Yeah. I hear you. I know where you're coming from. I'm out in Vegas and Arizona, both places. Vegas is very bad. You see people with tripods. I mean, people that really, I mean, it's great. You want to videotape yourself, but when you're a serious advocate of training and getting into the gym and want to do your shit, and you have every Tom, Dick, and Harry putting tripods up, and then in between, I made a joke about this on my story like a couple of weeks ago. Then they're saying they're training so hard, but in between sets, they're looking at their video of the set they just did. I'm like, what the fuck are you looking at?
Yeah,
talking about your training hard. There's not even.
I just want to say we have more live viewers than Bob has right now.
Wow.
You fucking loser, Bob. You fucking.
Nobody cares about this guy.
No, they don't.
He's a joke.
He's a fucking loser.
Well, see, that's what makes me laugh. Like I said, I honestly want him to announce me on the Olympia stage because that means I made it there.
Yeah.
But like me myself, when he said like nobody was there, I was like, all right, look, when I started bodybuilding in 2008, the arches of my feet collapsed, so I couldn't walk for the whole year. Had to restart again. 4 years later, I got brain cancer, was fighting cancer for 4 years, lost an eye from it. And then 2 years later, I'm back on the stage. Did my show. Then the other arch collapsed in my foot, couldn't walk again for another 6 months. Got back up, did it, competed again. And then my shoulder tour, I was helping some old guy at Home Depot lift a box in his truck. And then my bicep and shoulder tour came back again, so I'm just sitting up there. I had to keep coming back because I love bodybuilding, and all the injuries took away my youth. So now as a master's competitor, that's why I got so offended. My youth was taken away from injury and stuff that I couldn't help. But so to discredit the masters when there's so many stories of what people had to come through to still be competing. Like I've done so many surgeries. I've had 5 surgeries, and then like the cancer, the chemo, all this other stuff that I had to do. And now I'm healthy and competing again. And when I heard that, it was like, Bob, you're an asshole. That's all I can think of.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to pay attention to like multiple different things here. So you can see I'm sharing the chat here.
What did you say?
So I said, I asked the question here. Is it still there?
He's gonna avoid you. You know that, right?
Well, no. He said that. Is it gone? Did they actually delete it? I recorded it, so it's on the actual stream that we're recording, so it's evidence. I said, "Hey Bob, are you gonna apologize to the Masters Olympia and IFBB Pro Walter Martin?" And then he said, "No apologies." You can see right here. You guys can see the screen. So it says VOB. That's Bob in the yellow highlighted. It says no apologies.
Yeah.
This is them.
problem.
That's them. That's their no professionalism, no respect. So Walter, how do you feel
Well,
when they do that?
you know what? Like bodybuilding, even though I wasn't great on stage, and not to toot my own horn, I guarantee I make more than Bob, right?
Yeah.
I have a very successful business. You know, I'm a coach at the local level, got a ton of clients. I own a gym, 23,000 square feet with thousands of members, right? Bob,
Yeah.
you sit up there and you announce people doing stuff. Like you're not doing anything but announcing what other people do in their placings, you know? So him, I would love an apology just because he said something stupid, but I definitely don't need one. You know, I'm a man, you know what I mean? But I would love to be in his face, and I don't know tough guy stuff. I ain't trying to fight Bob. It wouldn't, you know, I'm just saying, why do you got us talk stupid? Even when he was talking about the female bodybuilding, you are a representative of bodybuilding. He says he's a representative of bodybuilding. So why do you shit on the bodybuilders? You should not. You should uplift people. Now, I'm not saying kiss anybody's butt, but as soon as you start talking negative about them, when he was talking about the women's bodybuilders, nobody wants to see that. Well, nobody wants to see your hairy chest. Button your shirt all the way up. You know what I mean? So, I mean, people, we can all get negative. You know what I mean? And I don't even like talking like I just did. But when you say no apologies, at least say, hey, what's going on? What should I apologize for? Or whatever. But when I see Bob, I'm going to talk to Bob, and I guarantee Bob, and I'm not saying he'll do it in a cowardly way, but he will apologize in person, but Bob won't apologize because he has this machismo that he has to put off, you know, this cocky, arrogant, whatever. But it's like, all right, that's why you don't work for the Arnold no more. You know how he could get so many more jobs. He can help so many people because in the bodybuilding industry, Bob's famous. And Bob, and like I've looked at his views and I've wondered that too. No one watches his shows, but how the hell do you have sponsors? You know,
I don't
like
know,
is he paying the sponsors to be there? Like, look, I'll give you $500 if you let me put your thing in my, you know, because I have no idea how you have sponsors when you got 3 watchers. You know, I sit up there and look at his views. And I'm like, how are you the voice of bodybuilding? And you got less views than every podcast that I watch.
Yeah. He's a loser. Like, obviously, he's not likable, right? You think you have Sean Ray on your podcast, icon, legend in the sport, and that can't even help you draw in enough views to your podcast, Bob. Like,
even Sean Ray's cocky, but he deserves it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he can get away with it, man. Fuck.
Yeah, because he's did so much. But Sean still does stuff. Like he's like a Mayweather. Mayweather had people sign contracts. Like whenever he did something good, he didn't want you to know because he wanted to be the villain. You know, because he said you can either be the good guy or the villain, and he chose the villain because of Oscar De La Hoya, but he said the villain pays more. That's how I view Sean, you know, and Sean has just always been a cocky, arrogant guy, but Sean makes a ton of money because he's a business whiz, he's smart, and he does know what he's talking about. So does Bob, but Bob, his arrogance, you're not, there's nothing to hold it there, you know, like, okay, you won the USAs, you know what I mean? Great. And you host the Olympia. Phenomenal. You know what I mean? Like I said, I would love for him to call because he does have a great voice. But now when I look at him, he's so tarnished to me. And it's like, as a man, if I do anything stupid, which I do all the time, right? Like you can ask my lady, you can ask my mom, my sister. I do stupid stuff every day. Sometimes it might even be on purpose. But I apologize because I will be sorry at least 98% of the time. 100%, I'll still say sorry 2% of the time, and I'm not, you know. But the man in me wants the person to be okay.
Yeah, I'm just responding. Can you see me typing here? So here's
Yeah.
Ron
Yeah.
Harris, and
Right.
he's like, you and Phil had you demanded that I say Phil wins. I'm like, no, we didn't. It's live. I said, Ron, do you think Phil should have won? And he's like, yeah, I think Phil should have won. What they did was disrespectful and despicable. What the judges did. And then he does an interview with Dorian Haywood today of all days. Well, so I'm assuming he must have talked to Bob, and they arranged this to kind of all correspond together as the narrative of what they're trying to do here. And then he's like, oh no, Dorian should have won. So this is Ron Harris completely losing his credibility. Sorry if I'm cutting out. As a
Yeah,
reporter
Ron's been around for a long time.
for a long time. That's why I had him on the show. He did 28 episodes with me.
Yeah, he
I
interviewed me
respect
many
him.
times back in the
Yeah,
day.
exactly. And now he goes on today and does an interview with Dorian Haywood and says, "Oh no, Dorian, I had you winning, blah blah blah," and like sucking up to Dorian.
I think a lot of people just want to do these things just to keep themselves relevant. I'm not saying this about Ron, but you know, especially Bob. Bob is going down the drain, to be honest, and he's doing whatever he wants to
Yeah.
do. But he's never going to apologize, and if he does, or if you even approach him like you want to, brother, he's just going to shy down, back away, or act like he's some arrogant, narcissistic ass. And he will whatever comes out of his mouth is shit. It doesn't matter, because he'll say
What?
something behind your back or behind everybody's back. He'll make fun of you and lie.
I see. I've talked to Bob in person because I had somebody. This is about 10 years ago. I had somebody call the IFBB and complain about me. It's this silly, crazy dude. And Bob was laughing. And when I saw him, I said, "Hey, you know," because the guy sent me the messages between him and Bob. And so I brought it up to Bob, and Bob was like, "Yeah." He just said, "We don't get into that personal stuff," because me and the guy, we got into a beef on Facebook. And he said something, he called my kids nigglets. So I told him I would do something to his wife's kids. And you know how you go crazy. I went crazy. And so he sent it to Bob, and Bob was like, "Well, we don't do nothing." So when I introduced myself to him, he just laughed it off, and he was like, "Ah, that was funny." And then so every time I seen him after that, he remembers who I am. So that's why I'm like, well, when I see him, I know he'll be like, "Hey, well, you know, it wasn't like that." But it was like, even if it wasn't directed towards me, it's still so disrespectful to all the men and even your boss, the Olympia brand itself.
Yeah.
You know, you are saying the Masters Olympia isn't worth it. Now I get I get there was no Olympians in there, right? And they should put it on a different day, but these people bust their ass. So many of the guys look great. So many of the women look great. I'm talking about from open to 212. And so you said like nobody was there to watch. You got 400 something people that made this show great, and there was no publicity behind it, but it still went off and did a good job. You know, people should have got behind it more, but they won't when you have somebody that works for the Olympia talking down about the show, because next time it comes up, somebody may think about, oh, you know what? Bob said the show wasn't even worth watching. So now they're not going to tune in.
Yeah. I just want to highlight that we have more views than Bob for the live. Yeah, it's a sad day for Bob Cicherillo. Like they're trying to clean this mess up, and they're just gonna double down on it. I'm just waiting for them to talk about it. I'm not paying. Let me just play the sound here because I don't know where they're at.
Credit where it was due, just to show you that nothing personal. When you deserve credit, I gave you credit. I didn't make any commentary on stage. I gave you accolades, gave you your flowers.
Okay,
and we even talked about it being 49. His whole thing is that he's an older guy who's done well for himself in bodybuilding, and he's placed and he won a show and he got to the Olympia. Good for you. Great story. Unfortunately, you've tainted any of that good stuff that could have been out there, because all anybody remembers you for now is being a crybaby and a poor sport and unprofessional. So you've pretty much ditched your own career when it comes to
I
that.
think the best thing that can happen.
He's
is
just
guys
so
just
good
don't
at trying to
retire.
turn
So
things around.
hopefully, you know, he finds peace.
That's all he does.
Congratulations, Phil.
Let's see. Hey, Bob,
You need to get back to
the gut mandate needs to return.
Yeah, I agree. The gut mandate does need to return. That's probably why there's people that don't win, right? Like people were talking about Nick Walker.
Or should I
in
say
Pittsburgh.
Bob?
The whole argument was
Say,
about
Bob, do
the
you take
stomach.
credit?
If
Hang
you
on a
Clahar
second.
took a look in the mirror, the whole argument is about his stomach.
Here's one of the delusional here, Christian again. Bob, are you really taking credit for writing the criteria for women's physique division? LOL. Am I taking credit? Well, let's see. As the athlete's rep, I proposed a division, put it together,
He's the
wrote the
self-proclaimed
criteria,
everything.
submitted it to the pro
Self-proclaimed
league, got
voice
it
of bodybuilding,
approved,
self-proclaimed
and even
athlete rep.
put
There
on
was no
women's
fucking
physique
athlete
division
rep.
shows as a promoter. So why would I just take the credit? I put in a lot of proposals that got it in my capacity in the last 20 years. Guess what else I put in, Christian? The 202 division, which then went to 210, which settled on the 212. You know who wrote that? Me. Guess who put the bikini division in there? Me. I mean, there is a whole list of things that I did in my capacity over the years for athletes. I've written reinstatement letters for Lee Priest. Guess who got your buddy Lee Priest back in, Sean? I did.
Oh, God.
Well, at the end of the day, you don't have to read your resume. I lived it. I mean, I'm not sure when Christian decided to jump
Ask
into
him
the
if he brought
bodybuilding industry,
wellness
but
too,
witnessed
because I know
it.
exactly
I
how
was the
wellness was
athlete's
brought
rep
in.
before you were. I was the one that promoted the very first 202 competition because you had your hand in it. We don't have to justify the resume. If you weren't there and you missed it, go Google this information. It's
I
public
talked to
knowledge,
JM
and you're not
himself
trying to win anybody over
and
by
found out how
making
that
those
happened.
claims.
Here you go, Sean, for you. Perfect. Hang on.
there it
He's
is.
Yeah,
not gonna
Bob
answer
said
your question.
Would you
bodybuilding.
say Tom Brady, the commentator, former pro sport, would be respected or considered is lifting the sport by down talking players, their validity in the sport, or potential regularity and broadness?
Strength
He wants
Addicts
to
is
know
on too. He's great.
so is Tom Brady downplaying and talking down and disrespecting when he says like a guy's having a bad day or the defense
Sean Ray's
sucks
cool.
or
I'll
they're
say
giving
Sean
up
Ray's
too
This
many
is
points?
You're talking to the right guy. You got the right one here. This is a sport of opinion and critique. And if you don't like the critique,
That's when you're a fucking commentator, not when you're an MC of a show.
I know that you don't have to listen to certain talking heads. If you don't like what's coming out of their
You
mouth,
can't intertwine
you
the
can turn
two.
the channel. However, most of the guys that have been around for 40 years have been paid for their opinion. Why? Because they're experienced. Okay, there's no satisfaction tearing down a bodybuilder unless it's warranted. If you're gonna go up on the bodybuilding stage with a fat stomach, a runny tan, torn bicep, a torn pec, goo coming out of your shoulders, lumps on your butt, I'm gonna call you out, and you know you're gonna hear it from me. You don't have to like me, but my eyes are not lying to me. It may not sound the best.
Well, Bob tore down the whole show. He said nobody was there.
Some personal stuff, and I'm aware of it.
Yeah,
I'm
but that's the
gonna
thing.
call it
That's why
out.
they
So
fired
if you
Bob
don't wanna
also from
hear that
commentating at the
commentary,
Olympia because he was
go
too
to the
negative.
PC station.
Not
Right.
Bob,
Like all
Sean.
commentators, most
Sean.
of us
Sean Ray, yeah.
have legs
Yeah.
because we're honest, we're truthful, and
It's
also
okay.
our
Listen, I mean,
own
you're there
opinion. It
to
does
uplift
not
everybody,
change or
whether they're good or
influence
bad. You
the
don't have to
scoring that the
say
judges
everything
do.
that you
If
see.
have a problem with the
But
outcome
this
of
is
the
already a cult
scoring,
sport as it
talk
is,
to the
and
judges.
you want to
If
grow
you
it,
don't like what
not
happened
make
in
it
Tokyo,
smaller.
Japan,
Yeah.
talk to Weinberger. But for us to commentate on any of these shows,
Yeah.
give our own personal views, they're just as valid or as invalid as somebody else commentating on them.
You know, speaking of which, and of course, Tokyo has taken over the last 2 weeks, and this alleged
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
conspiracy. Once again, another conspiracy involving the same guy. I see a pattern here, and everybody can't figure out the points in the swing. And I went on Kenson's show on EP09 and
funny how
explained
you wanna
it
answer your
thoroughly. And I
question.
think a lot of people got it, Sean, but what they didn't understand was there's this ongoing dispute of anybody in the Phil camp that still can't figure out, well, I don't understand. What can change in 3 hours? The prejudging and the finals were only 3 hours away. Sean, you ever seen a physique change in 3 hours?
Yeah, Pittsburgh in
Not
May.
that
Saw
drastically.
Garrett
Come
Lunsford
on.
whip,
Phil didn't change.
Walker
It's
off the
fucking
stage.
I've done
bullshit.
USA's, which was
I
a
mean,
day
3
apart.
hours. We've seen physiques melt in 3 minutes. On
So they're
stage, have
saying
we
Phil
not?
melted away and
Matter
was,
of fact,
looked
I
like
witnessed
shit. Like it's
Cedric McMillan
ridiculous.
not even
Yeah.
able to make it after prejudging.
Wow.
Back to the
Look,
finals.
Walter, I was there
watched
when he did the
Logan
USA's in
Franklin
2001.
not
I
even
saw
able
him
to leave his
walking around the
hotel
pool at
room to
Alexis
make
Park.
it to prejudging.
It didn't even look
So
like he was
things
doing the
happen
show.
to the
That's how
body.
tough
Sean
he
Ray
was.
doesn't know what he
Minutes.
didn't. He doesn't
I've
even
seen
watch the
guys
show. Like
cramp
he's not.
up.
He's
I've
just
seen
kind of there. But
ambulances
Bob
called
knows
in.
better.
I've actually seen athletes expire before they can get to the show. I watched Dallas McCarver not be able to come back and finish the show in
Hilarious.
Australia. Yeah, the body changes in a matter of minutes.
And here's how the points work, folks. We're not going to go into the whole point thing because we've just got
There's too many
stuff commenters coming in left and right, which is great. We appreciate you guys. Here's how the points thing works, okay? overwhelmingly, all the judges had Phil Clahar winning in the morning, and they all pretty much had Dorian in third place in the morning. Okay, and Dom, the German guy there, I keep forgetting his name. Domenico. Dominic.
Wow,
I had
Bob.
him winning.
Wow,
I know,
learn
right?
the
We both had
learn
him
the
winning.
names,
According
Bob.
to we weren't there, but according to video and pictures, I would have had him winning. But he's in a solid second place, and people say, "Well, how is that even possible? How's it possible?" Here's how it's possible, everybody.
Tell us.
At the night show, everybody had Dorian winning, and nobody had Phil winning. They had him in third place. So Dom
he
stayed
came
in the
from
center.
third,
Okay,
passed up
solid
8
second.
points and got
These
that
two
much
guys
farther in a
flip
matter of
flop, and they
3
say, "I don't
hours.
understand.
Yeah.
Phil
How
got
can that
that much
possibly
softer in
happen?"
3
It's
hours.
real
My
easy.
ass.
Phil faded a
Unless
little
you
bit.
take an IV late.
Listen, neither guy was
That's
great
true.
right off the bat. Let's just
Come
start
on.
there, okay? But Dorian was holding a lot of water in the morning,
Oh, my
which he
God.
lost a lot of water as he was posing. When he came back, much sharper. Midsection was under control. Phil flattened out.
No,
Listen, he wasn't a lot different than the morning, but it was different enough.
he just
So
made
it's a
it. He just said he
combination,
wasn't a lot
everybody.
different.
It's not just one guy got that much better. One guy got a little worse. The other guy got a little bit better. Overwhelmingly, it's a bodybuilding show.
Third to
Dorian has
first
a lot
better,
more muscle
Bob.
than Phil
For
does.
fuck's
And
sakes.
the judges felt, and again, there was 7 of them. It ain't just Steve, everybody, okay? Everybody felt there at that point. It was overwhelmingly the other way,
Overwhelmingly.
completely in reverse. So now you virtually have a tie.
This is
And guess where the
pathetic.
tie is going to go at night while you're judging the show and going to the final pose down. That's where Dorian won the show. It's that simple. No call from
It's that
Pittsburgh.
simple.
That phone didn't ring.
Isn't that
I
easy?
should have brought my bat phone here. I couldn't get a call.
I do have a
Well,
question
he's
about this,
talking
Bob. I
about
watched on Instagram.
like before in
Walter,
EP09,
you
he
were
said there is
there.
no point system.
Walter, you were there. Did Phil fall apart and look soft and flat and watery?
No,
And
I mean he didn't. He honestly didn't. You know, anybody that watched the show, I mean he didn't. Like I'm going to tell the truth. Dorian's my friend. I'm happy he won because he's my friend. But but Phil did not fall apart. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm going to tell the truth that the truth is he didn't fall apart. You know, am I happy Dorian won? Yes. If Phil would have won, would I have been happy? Yes, because I like Phil. You know what I mean? But Phil was harder. If I was a judge, I would have chose Phil. Even though Dorian's my friend, no disrespect. I mean, he understands bodybuilding also. But the truth is the truth. That's how I seen it. I had Phil winning. I'm not a judge, but I do have an eye. But I also can say on stage, I only see them from behind. I did not see them from the front.
Hey, that's even better.
Yeah.
You're grouping everything from behind and hard. Your front is going to be that much harder.
Right.
Yeah.
And he deserved to win it at that point,
Yeah.
right? No,
It's just crazy. Man. It's crazy.
Then I knock him. Yeah, I knocked him after he went
And
to Tampa.
there's video footage now of Phil. It looks dry to the bone at finals, like feathers in the quads. There's nothing wrong. Is his midsection like a huge bubble gut? No, it's not. It looks the same as it did at pre-judging.
And then that's where me and Matt actually started. I was actually on Matt's show.
Oh, here we go.
Asking Matt, why do you? This is why Matt has no credibility.
Okay, this is I have no credibility.
I asked Matt 10 times in a row, why would you have him in the first call out? Because he kept insisting he should have been called out in the first call out. And he says, finally, because of what he did last year. Now,
That's not what I said.
Go watch the tape, okay? I'm not putting words in his mouth.
Yeah, you are,
He thought
Bob.
he deserved to look in the first call out because of what he did in Orlando a year earlier. That's the very essence of bias. And that's the very essence of politics.
So when
You get
Samson
judged
Dowda wins the Mr.
on
Olympia,
what
do
you
you not
do at
expect
that
him
time.
to
Phil's
be the
complaint,
front runner
but
going
now he's changed it
into
a little bit.
the next
He
year's
just thought
Mr.
he
Olympia?
got a better look. Sean, let me ask you something, brother. Let me ask you.
This is a long 15
Like,
But it's funny how they hold things against people. Things happen in life, shit happens in life, but you want to hold something that happened to somebody maybe a year ago, whatever happened. That's a year ago. So you're going to hold that against all their work, their life, which we have one life. Not like, oh, you can fuck up this life and come back next life and do it over again.
and I would have thought like they would have, you know, tried to clean this up and try to be professional.
No,
But
they
they're
like
doubling
drama.
down, guys. They are doubling down. Dan Solomon, Jake Wood, you guys are responsible for this now. You guys are responsible for letting this shit happen. 6 weeks up for the Mr. Olympia, letting the MC continue to mock and make fun of Phil Clahar, calling him a crybaby, okay, of the Masters Olympia. Now, he's not apologizing. He said no apologies. No apologies for the Masters Olympia, for the comments that I made that are very clear and documented online now. This is where we're at now. It's
That's
just
okay. He's
it's
just digging his
embarrassing.
grave deeper. It just shows how much of a, he doesn't take accountability for anything. He's never going to. That's why I said what I said. He's never going to.
Yeah, it's like I said, he should apologize to the organization, to the Masters Olympia. I don't need one personally because he didn't say me personally, but I took it personal because he's like, when somebody points out a crowd of people, and if I'm in that crowd, I'm part of it. So that's why I take it personal. But you said nobody was there and it wasn't worth watching. You work for the Olympia. So why in the hell would the owner not say something? Like, hey, don't say that. Don't say my show that's, under my banner is nothing. Don't say the Masters competitors that,
They blocked me. They put me on a timeout, guys.
Uh-oh.
We documented it, guys. We got it on live here. Told you they were going to do that. I predicted they were going
What'd
to do
they do?
this. So I said, where is it right now? So I said, Sid needs to be the new MC for the Mr. Olympia. Bob, what? You can't handle that? And then I said, but Tim Wilkins will probably replace Bob next year. They blocked that one out. Oh, they blocked that. They don't want that. They don't want that in there. But you got to hear, guys. You got to hear live. It's recorded. It's fucking losers, man. This is the Olympia. This is like a joke. This is like a.
See, this is a kids game. That's why
This
it's
is
never
kids
gonna,
shit.
never going to be on the same level as NFL, NBA, nothing, because all it is a bunch of their kids. They're talking about being crybabies. These are people that can't take accountability. They just want to gossip and be little kids. They're not professional whatsoever. He's never professional. All he wants to do is be a clown on stage with a stupid fucking suit and a big nose that's already looks like a clown.
Oh, he looks like a fucking clown. I mean, he's lost all respect.
The thing is, all you guys, all you masters, I mean, I'm 51, but look, I'm not competing anymore. I was done when I was 42 because I had a couple neck surgeries. I was just like, it's not worth it for me to come back after I saw my pictures. But all due respect to you guys, at 50, you're doing the shows. There's no reason for him to put anybody down. It's harder, a lot harder as we age to compete and put our bodies through that stress. And for him to just be disrespectful for no godforsaken reason is just, it's disrespectful to the brand. It's disrespectful to all the competitors. There's no reason for that. There's enough negativity in the world as it is today. And with all the shit that everybody goes through and you guys go through, even in their 50s, man, come on. Why say that? Praise you guys for, all the hard work that you guys do, the families that you have, all the adversities you've overcome to get to that show and pay your own way, all out of your pocket for some fucking jackass clown.
Well, you got to look at it like this. He talks about critiquing, right?
He's an MC.
Listen to other people when they critique. Like, listen to Jay Cutler when he critiques somebody, and then listen to Bob.
Yeah, well,
huge difference. There's a way to critique somebody without making them want to fight you.
Yeah, but on top of that, brother, I agree with you. But if he wants
they
to
blocked me again. They
go
blocked
and
me
have
again.
your own podcast. Don't be an MC.
Right.
You don't listen. Do you ever want to come out to the show when he calls your name? You're going to hear that voice, and you're going to be irked being on stage, knowing that asshole sitting on the side of the stage watching you.
Right.
Hey, wait a minute. Bob basically mocked Sid's announcing style too. Said they don't have time for long and hyped intros at the O. Muscle Insight. Where did he say that? He did say this on the show now? Because I can't hear everything Bob's saying because I'm trying to do this too. Where did Bob say this?
Matt, do you remember Lonnie?
I had Lonnie on the show 2 times. I've been talking to Lonnie. He's going to give me a call today.
Okay. Now I came up when Lonnie was, let me tell you, Lonnie was the best MC ever. Now he was an MC.
100%.
Okay. He gave everybody their nicknames. Dexter to Blade Jackson. He gave
The
Flex,
real deal, Chris Cormier.
Real deal Cormier. The list goes on. He gave me mine, Abbas Persian Missile Katami. I mean, if you had a personality or you were outspoken or whatever, he designated everybody's nickname. Everybody, I get goosebumps talking about him because I couldn't wait to get on the Arnold stage because he announced me for all my USAs and nationals. And when he announced me, you were happy to get on stage because he gave everybody a great introduction. He was a great announcer. And when he interviewed you, he hyped you up.
Yeah.
Now, there wasn't podcasts back then. So if you want to be a podcast and critique and talk shit, have your podcast. But don't be on the Olympia stage as the master of ceremonies. And just imagine Nick Walker now coming out in the upcoming Olympia when he just heard Bob say all this, I can't wait to announce you 8th place. Do you think Nick wants to come out knowing that this jackass is on the left-hand side of him watching him pose?
See, look, listen. Bob says nobody's blocked. Nobody's blocked. He's lying. He's a habitual liar. I have it recorded here for everyone on my live stream to see it. I've been blocked.
Good, just put it
No,
up.
nobody's blocked, guys. There's nothing to see here. Fucking
Is
loser
there any
you
way
are,
for me
Bob.
to jump in on their live stream?
No. I'm in
No,
the
I
comments, but they keep blocking me. It's hilarious, man. They're totally getting busted here. It's like, what? Are you serious? Because maybe they don't know that I'm live streaming them. They probably don't, because I went live and they don't know. So, wow. This is.
Listen, if you have an eye for anything, Walter, man, I don't know you from anybody, but you know, for you to get up on stage and travel halfway across the world,
Yeah,
good
man.
for you, man. You know, I mean, but listen, Bob is what, our age, maybe a little bit older. Why doesn't he, you know, put his foot in his mouth and do it himself? But he's a fat piece of shit just talking.
Yeah, like. So go
Just like
ahead,
most
Walter. Like,
bodybuilders, I've been following bodybuilding, since I was 13, 14, 15. I'm 49.
Oh, so
I am not a judge, but I 100% can look at somebody and know if they're in condition, know what they need, know what they've done. I could tell if somebody's been squatting. I could tell if you haven't been squatting. I have just as much knowledge as anyone else. I've been a coach, for 20 years. I only do local because I only coach people that I can see. I don't do anything online because I hate it. I don't want to coach a person that I can't see. I can't see what you're doing. Any of that stuff. But, so I know I have an eye and I know what I've seen. And like I said, Phil won. Now, the next day when they started pointing out stuff, I said, oh, okay, I can see where somebody else, if they had a different frame of mind where they can say, okay, his legs have more volume. But I go back to conditioning. Conditioning is number one.
condition is king, brother.
Yeah, conditioning is number one. So if he has more volume in his legs, his chest is fuller and this and that, but conditioning matters the most.
just type in some questions. Keep on talking, guys. Keep it going. Yeah.
A lot of people won't bring into conditioning because once you get down to very lean levels, that's when your weaknesses start appearing. Because your weak body parts will start showing. And that's why I think, I don't know, people don't want to work too hard these days. They just want to take more drugs. But when you really get sucked down, that's when your weaknesses start showing. But that's when you get to see yourself. And you don't need a judge to tell you this. If you're real with yourself, you can critique yourself, say, okay, when I'm real lean, my arms are small. My back is a little bit small. I need to work on these areas when I bulk up. Because myself, when I got real lean and I sucked down, because I was always like at 230, I looked great. Coming down to 225 for heavies, I lost all my volume, but I didn't have the knowledge within 2 days to bring myself back up. So I said, okay, off season, I need to get that much bigger on the up here, shoulders, chest area. So when I do that sucking down, it will balance it out. But even though in the off season, I looked unbalanced because my upper body was bigger than my legs, but my legs held. But people don't look at themselves. They don't want to be real with themselves. And when you tell them something, they get hurt.
Me. Yeah. Yeah. They can't handle it, man. They have to block my questions. It's hilarious.
Oh, it's okay. We can get into this
here
on Monday.
Here we go. Wait. He's saying something.
That you're going to announce Nick in 8th place. Is that being respectful, or whatever he
my
said.
God.
I
Here
just
we go.
lost the thing.
Who cares?
No,
Let's
that's
go.
called a prediction.
Gamesmanship.
Okay, yeah, it's
Oh.
a little gamesmanship, bro. Okay, that
No.
he puts out a thing, says, "Oh, who the fuck is Bob?" Right, this and that. The
He
funny
did that
thing is me
after.
and him were texting the whole time.
No, it's
Okay,
not. It's
people. So
different.
it's
When you
not
say I
Listen,
that
can't
we
wait
even
to give
didn't
you
take
eighth
it that
place, it's
Let's hear,
seriously.
let's
different.
hear
But
what he, let's hear
is
what he
that
has to
being
say.
disrespectful? No. What's the difference? What I announce him? If it's eighth, if it's sixth, or if he wins the damn thing.
Yeah.
I just hope he gets on stage and he actually competes, and I would love to see how he can do. It's
Oh
gonna be a
my
great
God.
Olympia. Okay, but no, that's not disrespectful. That's just my opinion. Remember, Matt? Remember that whole? It's just your
Well,
opinion, right?
It's the way
Speaking
you
of Nick
phrase
Walker,
it, asshole.
I was there. I handed him his trophy on the stage at the Arnold
Oh,
Classic,
okay.
right?
Now you can feel better.
Then I said he could
So,
be
so he's saying it's not disrespectful, but the full context of what Bob said on the Cutler cast was, you know, I'll be announcing you in 8th place, Nick Walker. You could
Matt,
never have turned pro during my day.
you remember how
A
Lonnie used to
condescending
do it?
remark.
Lonnie used to do the Swami's predictions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
No, that was fun. Predictions, not
Yes.
saying I can't wait to hand you your 8th place. It's two different stories of how you talked about it and how you laid it out.
Thank you for pointing it out.
He just said he was
You were like,
texting.
oh,
He
Lonnie's
just said he was
predictions are
texting
fun.
him the whole time, but he was on a Cutler cast when he said it. So how
Yeah.
could you be texting him when you're talking to Jay Cutler saying it?
He's lying. He's just a fucking loser. Like that's what he's a narcissist. So he's
He doesn't have any big
not.
fans. I mean,
He's
they
doubling
just
down.
control
He
that.
says he's not disrespecting the athletes when you say I'm going to call you out 8th place, Nick Walker. Like as
No,
an
no,
athlete,
no, word for word, Matt. I can't wait to hand
Can't
you
wait.
your 8th. Yes. Okay. You don't say that. You don't
No.
do that. These guys
don't
put
do
a
it.
lot of effort. They're putting their health and their life on line to entertain people. And this, you don't do that. You just don't do it.
Twice. You won your class.
and people know that Bob is being condescending and disrespectful to Nick, and then saying, "Oh, you would never turn pro in my time, my day, Nick." Like that's
Yeah, he would've.
condescending
I
when you
saw
kind of
Nick
like you
when
would
Nick
never do it
won.
in my time, Nick.
But shit,
Like
Bob
that's
barely turned pro in his time.
no, he wouldn't have. Bob wouldn't have.
I mean, it took him fucking
13
20 years or whatever.
Yeah.
It took.
Just maybe Bob's bitter. Maybe he's I don't know. Like he
Oh, he's
never accomplished
extremely
anything.
bitter.
Yeah.
Well, like, whenever somebody is that cocky and that arrogant, they're lacking some stuff, and he's been lacking stuff for a long time. Because you try to make up for it, like when you have a bully that likes to talk about people, you know, it's something else that they don't like about themselves. So they say little things to make themselves feel better or make themselves look better to a certain group of people. You know, like I said, there's a certain way to say stuff. You can say stuff that, you know, in a way where it's not going to piss people off. And that's what most people do. Or you could choose the route to say, I'm going to say it how I said, and I'm going to create this controversy because I have nothing else going on.
That's exactly
So
what he did.
hopefully I can get some
thoughts
people to
on
talk to
Dion
me.
in the open. I think he will do the Arnold. What do you think? That's from the mayor.
Trying
By
to see
the
if they're
way.
going to respond to my question.
100%.
But yeah, it's just this is. I was gonna see like maybe they'll come out and say, you know what? I think the Masters Olympia was a great show, great competitors. Maybe not like apologize, but just kind of like, you know, show some respect to you guys. But he doubles down. He said no apologies, no apologies.
He just wants to skip it all over. He just wants to forget about it, skip over that, not even talk about it at all, Matt.
Man, guys, like Mark,
He
Walter,
is
I feel
no
bad. I'm
apology
sorry
type
for you,
of
brother.
guy.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry for you, brother, man. Like you gotta to eat that, man. He's not apologizing. He's not apologizing to the competitors. That saying that no one cares about the Masters and this and that. Like that's
No, the funny
Guys.
thing is, let's talk about the Masters World where they made it for him and they let him beat Rusty Jeffers. And I know
Yeah.
Rusty Jeffers for 30 years. Rusty definitely deserved to win that show.
Yeah.
I saw Rusty before he left for that show. He destroyed Bob.
That's what
Rusty's
strength
a
addicts say.
beautiful poser, everything. They made that damn show just for Bob, just to give him something to make him happy. Come on.
You know what that makes me think though? Like, does Bob have dirt? on these guys or something. Like, why is he
Look,
still
there's a lot of
around?
dirt, but come on, those guys are so powerful that nothing can touch them. Come on, you know how many times Wayne has gone after them and this and that thing,
Yeah.
that people trying to bring the IFBB down. It's not going to happen. I don't know why they're trying to keep this guy around. I mean, just look at his face right there. Look at that big old nose.
Oh, God.
Looks like you don't even need to put a clown nose on him. Just put some
No,
paint
you
on his
don't.
face.
Yeah, it's just, it's just. I'm shocked. I'm not shocked. I can say I'm not shocked.
I told you this
But
was going to happen, man. He's
both
not going to
are
say anything.
no, and they had an opportunity. They had an opportunity, and they didn't take it, and it's disgusting. And
See,
I'm a
because
fan
they,
of
Yeah,
they
bodybuilding.
just think everything is a joke. It's not a
I go to
joke.
Olympia every year for like the last probably 20 years, right? So, I sit VIP all the way up front, and I am definitely going to run into Bob. I've ran into Bob every single year, and I've taken pictures with Bob, every year, even though I'm not a big fan of his, but I do like his voice, and I do like his commentating when he's on stage, but personality wise, it's shit. But I'd like to take pictures of all the people, that I've watched over the years. That's just what I do. So, like I said, I'm going to talk to him and I'm going to see him, and I'm like, yo, that wasn't cool that you said that nobody was there, because I was there. And I'm going to tell him I took personal offense. And like I said, it ain't no tough guy. It ain't me. I ain't, trying to fight him. I don't give a shit about the guy enough to go to jail for beating up, some dude, But I'm gonna just let him know, like man to man, like, hey, you shouldn't do that. There's a better way to say it, and you don't know the people's story. I guarantee there's so many stories. Like if he still could compete, he would. But he likes to eat. You know what I mean? Like, which is fine. Go ahead and enjoy your life. But I really do think he gets a kick out of starting shit, because he doesn't have anything
Oh,
going
glad of
on.
that.
And like even when you watch his podcast, I just crack up
Honestly,
because
I'm glad.
there literally be 8 people watching. I'm like, how are you the voice of bodybuilding and you the announcer of the Olympia, and you got 8 people watching the show? Oh, everybody hates you. You know,
He's
that
just trying
right
to keep
there,
himself
that right
relevant.
there shows everything.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, just throwing that in his face there a little bit, because he was fired from the Arnold.
Yeah, at least Arnold had the balls
They
to
hated
fire
him.
him.
They didn't. They hated him, man. Like
Oh,
he
he said
was.
he quit.
He
No.
didn't. No, I like
Yeah,
whatever. I mean, yeah, that was
yeah,
like the.
he definitely said he quit. I remember when he said it. He said it was so unprofessional that I just couldn't do it anymore. No,
Yeah.
because you also said he showed up and then all of a
God,
sudden
are
he
we going to
wasn't
be
on there.
getting ripped up
So
for the Olympia?
Go ahead. Sorry, I just want to see what you say.
yeah,
Yeah.
so like he said he showed up and they had somebody else. So it's like, how did you quit but you still showed up? You know what I mean? It's like you which one is it? Like just be honest, tell the truth, you know. But I
But
do
yeah,
like they didn't even
Liar,
call him and
man.
tell him they fired him. They let him come all the way there and be like, look, we don't need you. Go serve some chicken.
oh man, it's
Listen,
like yeah,
Lonnie was the MC of the Arnold for 20 years. Okay,
yep,
that shows professionalism right there.
yeah,
I
totally.
mean, I
You didn't get
specifically talked to Lonnie when I was up and coming. I said, I can't wait for you to introduce me at the Arnold. You
I
know,
mean, I
I'm
love the Olympia, but if you take a poll of people and ask which one do you like watching more, the Olympia or the Arnold, it's going to be a landslide. I mean,
yeah,
it has a lot to do
yeah,
with the amount of people. I mean,
yeah,
it's mostly because of the amount of people and the times of the show.
yeah, yeah. No, it's alive, so they can't. It's alive. Trying to strike the challenge. But it's just funny that he was fired from the Arnold, okay, Arnold, Ohio, and the UK, and both, okay, not just one but both, and he still gets to keep his job at the Olympia, and he talks shit about Jake Wood, okay, that's that's well noted. It's been said by strength addicts. It's been said by other people. And I don't know. I think they only keep him because they don't have anyone else that they think is suitable to replace Bob at this moment.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think that's the only case, only
right?
scenario.
It's the only scenario. And could Sid do it? Yes, he could do it. Um, David Bay, he replaced Bob at the Arnold, so they're not going to bring David Bay in. Um, it's I don't know. Are they stuck with Bob? Maybe,
But
right?
see, sometimes you get so comfortable with like a throw rug that you got on your floor that you just don't change it until it falls all the way apart. You know. So to me, that's how I see it.
Yeah. People were saying I should get Bob and Sean on. I've had Sean on my show many times, right? But then he started doing Bob's show, and then it's like, no, he's not going to come on.
See, the thing is, I don't know if you remember this, Matt. Back at one of the athletes' meetings or whatever, right before the Olympia, one of the judges, was a lady judge. She stood up in the audience. She's like, "Sean, what are we going to see from you this year? You haven't changed in 10 years."
Right. I remember that.
You remember that, Deshay?
Yeah.
So Sean shouldn't be saying anything because that happened to him.
Right.
I mean, Bob is not a judge, but still, Bob is part of this whole thing. So that's why Sean was like, "What am I doing here? I mean, I'm fighting up against this. Somebody's saying I haven't changed. I mean, come on." Sean had a beautiful physique. He came in on point every time. But you have a judge stand up during the athletes' meeting and say this right before the show. How would you think he's going to feel? Now he's talking and he's kind of like, it's happened to him. So he
Yeah,
should understand what Bob is doing is not right.
he should be advocating for more for the athletes, but for some
Exactly.
reason, I don't know why Sean. I know why Sean is doing whatever, but I respect Sean because he's an icon, man, and it's like he was one of my favorite bodybuilders when I was competing, and I see. I think he just kind of goes along with it. I don't even think he necessarily kind of really keeps up to speed with what's going on, like with the Phil
No.
Clahar thing.
Yeah.
He didn't watch it. He doesn't know
He
he's just
was
going
a
on.
good interviewer as well, though, Sean.
Yeah,
Because I had one time where Flex Wheeler interviewed me, very disrespectful to be honest. And Sean came up to me one time after that. He's like, "Hey, Flex wants to interview." I said, "No, I'm never going to talk with Flex again. I'll interview with you, Sean, but that's about it." You
yeah,
can't be downplaying athletes when you're interviewing them and then kicking them on the in the nuts while you're interviewing them.
yeah. Yeah, so well, that's pretty much it. I don't know what else they're saying. I think they're just talking about other stuff now. They're not talking about it. They did it a little bit. I'll go back and watch some of it to see what they said, especially the Nick Walker part. I'm glad I got Bob took the bait on that one and kind of doubled, and so now I can pull clips of it and fucking rub it in his face more. But I appreciate you guys coming on, taking the time in the afternoon to do this, Walter. We're gonna have you both back on for sure. You guys are great guests, and it's just sad to see that this is where we're at. And hopefully, I'm not. Let me stop this sharing this because it's probably still on my computer now. Just get out of
Yeah.
this.
When I go to the Olympia this year, I'm gonna try to have my lady videotape me talking to Bob.
Perfect. There you go.
Yeah,
I'm like, hey, I'm gonna just have her put it on and where he can't see it, but I'm gonna just talk to him, because even if he doesn't remember exactly my name or who I am or whatever, I don't see why he wouldn't because I talk to him a lot. Um,
yeah,
but it's like I said, I'm just gonna let him know that what he says, he should just say it a different way. You know what I mean? There's always a better way to say something without hurting somebody. But I'm kind of wondering why in the hell Jake Woods or somebody, whoever owns the Masters Olympia, if it's Jake Woods, if it's somebody else, why wouldn't they say something to him? I can't own something. Like if I had a worker for me, left my gym and went on a podcast and said, "That's a shit gym." Next time you come in to work, we got some problems. So it's like somebody needs to step up and say something to him about the way he talks about the competitors and the way, because he's saying opinion. No, that's more than opinion. That's anger and disrespect. Opinion is like, oh, you know what? His tan is off. You know, he's not as sharp. But as soon as you dig in, oh, he looks like shit. You know, that's not critiquing.
It's like it's insulting. It's
You're right.
condescending. Yeah.
Well, I
And
mean, the
Bob
main thing
Bob
here,
knows.
the main thing here is differentiating, being a critique and somebody who's an MC of a show, master of ceremonies.
Right.
When you hold that title, you should not be talking on podcasts and saying I can't wait and this and that. Being, even critiquing, you shouldn't be saying anything. You're a neutral party because you're going to be up on that stage introducing all these people, and they want to come on stage with a positive attitude, not knowing in the back of their head whether it's true or not. Go be a podcast host, critique all you want, talk all the shit you want.
Yep.
Two different stories. I mean, you don't see Joe Rogan, launching up at people while they're coming into let's say, coming up in the, there's just, well, he may need to work on his ground game or his, stand-up game or whatever, but not, he's a piece of shit. I can't wait to see him lose.
Or
Right.
crybaby or whatever.
Yeah,
Or you're gonna play
we're all
safe.
tough. It's not about being like, oh, you're weak-minded. Everybody's so soft. Yeah, everybody's so soft, but you're a critiquer, you're a commentator, you're an MC on stage. It's two different titles, two different things you can talk about.
Or nobody was that great at the Masters, and no one cared. No one wanted to watch it. No one cares who wins. Like, this is like, people know, they see this, and some of the fans are like, "Oh, Bob can. It's okay, Bob. That's fine." It's like, it's just, bodybuilding is a weird demographic of people that
A bunch of
are
babies.
just okay with
babies
this.
that can't take criticism, and they're going to say that, oh, now Walter, he can't take criticism. No, it's not that. That's not your job. You are an MC. Go and have your own fucking podcast and talk shit. But
Which he does. And I said,
don't blur the lines.
I said, do
You can't
that.
be
Just
cool. It's not cool.
Just have a podcast. Just have a podcast. You have your Voice of Bodybuilding podcast. Just do that and rip people to shreds. I mean, I'm critical of people. I'm critical of athletes and constructively. And I'll say, you know what? Nick Walker's got a big waist. He's got to work on it. It's a problem. It's an issue. It could cost him things. I analyze it that way. You're right. I'm a
Even
commentator.
the way you said it, you could still be an MC, but the way he's saying, I can't wait to give him 8th place or whatever, however he said it. Come on, it's negativity. People put a lot into the sport, as you know, all you guys know. 12 weeks, their whole life, every day, in and out. To be on stage for that one day.
Can you imagine being Walter, flying out to Tokyo, spending $7,000 plus everything else he spent, not making any money on the way there, taking time out of he's got a business, things and family, and then you leave, and then you go there, and then the Masters, the Mr. Olympia MC, and like the voice of supposedly bodybuilding is like,
there was actually 10 grand. I counted it up because I was like, man, how much did I spend? So I went through it. I was like, shit, that's a lot of money I invested to not get anything back. But I wanted to be a part of the Olympia, even though it's the Masters Olympia. I may never get to that stage. I'm trying. I'm giving it 2 more years. This is the only time that I've been healthy for 2 years straight. So I'm working with Milos now. I did Detroit early this year, came in my best condition ever. I was working with Matt Jansen. I was, no disrespect to Matt, but me and Matt in 3 years never spoke one time. Never spoke one time. And then when I made a decision to stop working with him, and I like Matt, but he basically said, so are you about to give up? And that was our conversation. And I'm like, damn, bro, we went 3 years to get me back on stage, right? We worked together for 3 years. And then when we talked, it was only, how far do you think you can go? It wasn't a positive thing. It was, I guess it was more concern, I guess I could say, maybe it's time for you to quit. And I'm like, brother, I'm still young. I still got a lot. So when I talked to Milos took a look at me and said, shit, let's go. And I was like, well, let's go. You know what I mean?
This is very hands-on. Same with me. I mean, I'm surprised that Matt never even talked to you on the phone. I tell all my clients, call me anytime, call me.
For 3 years, we never spoke one time. And so I felt stupid.
Damn.
I honestly felt stupid. We never spoke one time. And then for 2.5 years, it was one text message, like a month, one message on thing a month. But then sometimes it was, I don't want to talk bad about him, but I know some coaches take a while, but sometimes it was 2, 3, 4 days. And I'm like, well, damn, if we don't ever talk, and then I wait 4 days, 3 days, it wasn't 4 days was only a couple of times, but it's usually about 2 to 3 days. Well, I hated that. It's like if I send a message once a month, and then when I get back, all right, looking good. But shit, I've been waiting 3 days for that. And it's like,
Yeah.
and I know he had a lot going on, and I like, if Matt ever hears this, please, brother, I'm not disrespecting you, but the truth is the truth. I really felt like a nobody. You know what I mean? And it ate at me that I felt like a nobody. But then we also weren't trying to grow me. The diet, like, it didn't change until it was time to start dieting. So we got 2.5 years. I'm eating the same amount of food. We ain't trying to go up, down. We just stabilized, And I'm just like, well, what the hell is this? Like, let's go, let's do something, like we got to go one direction or the other. And then when I wanted to do, like I did Detroit, then I wanted to do another show. And then he was like, I don't think you should do another show. I'm like, why not? He's like, well, you won't be good enough. I'm like, motherfucker, well, I've been with you for years, And so that's why I didn't even talk to him when I left, because he didn't realize the things that he said leading up to it. You made me feel like an old man. You gave me no respect. But he did say thank you for sticking with him, because I stuck with him when everybody quit.
Well,
And I was like,
though, bro.
Yeah, you stayed with him for too long, bro. You got to leave that shit when you see that
and then when we
disrespect.
did my show, I never came in, like I came in at 216 pounds. I was never that light. I was in condition, but at the show, everybody, commentators, Fuad, other guys came up to me. They was like, you need to go eat a burger,
Mm.
Even the judges, like, they was like, look, Walter, you look good, but you look like you starving. You know what I mean? It wasn't that, because you know how you could tell somebody went too far?
Yeah.
And that's what we was. And I'm like, damn, we worked 3 years, and then that's the comments I get is, yeah, I was in good condition, the best condition I've been in, but it's also flat and skinny. And but then when I worked with Milos, when we did I was up almost 20 pounds. We could have probably been down another 5 to give me some crispiness, but I wanted to see how being full looked. So I said, let's get me full as possible, because honestly, I know I wasn't winning Masters. This is still me trying to figure my body out, because I haven't figured it out yet. So now we're going to do Detroit again, and now I'm going to compare, and because I had the fullness, I had the condition. Now it's time to bring both of them, And I only worked with Milos for 6 weeks before we did Master. So you really can't do too much in that time.
No, it takes a little bit, but at least you picked Milos. Milos is way more hands-on,
Man, Milos talked to me so much, I feel like he my uncle. You know what I mean?
That's the way it should be,
Yep.
You want to build that bond with your clients.
Right.
That's how I am with my clients. I've had clients leave. This always happens. 2 years later, they come back because they think they're going to get something better. Abbas, I just want to apologize. Can I come back to you? Will you take me back? I've had this coach. I never once spoke with them on the phone the whole time. I said, and then they told me they walked past their coach. I didn't even know who they were backstage.
Wow.
I said,
yeah, I did that with Dave Palumbo. I worked with Dave Palumbo, and I was like, Dave, was Walter. He was like, Walter. And I was like, yeah, I'm your client. And what's so funny is I worked with Dave 3 times. Now Dave knows me, you know what I mean? No disrespect, but now he knows me because he's seen me several times, and we always speak when we see each other. But that is the truth. Like, I was like, damn, Dave, I worked with you 3 times.
That's crazy.
And I was like, yeah, and you didn't know who I was,
I don't understand
It's a crazy industry. Yeah, it's a crazy industry. There was a comment here about me talking to Dan Solomon. I do talk to Dan Solomon. We've been going back and forth in the DMs on Instagram. I've sent him Walter's video where Walter was asking for an apology to show, what Bob is causing, and he hasn't seen it yet. He hasn't opened it. And I think he's purposely not
He's not
opening it
going
because he
to, Matt.
doesn't want to, he knows
No.
what's coming.
No.
And if he opens that and he sees it, he's got to reply. And
He's
what is he
going to
going
have
to
to
say?
respond. Exactly.
Yeah, what is he going to say?
He
He's
can't
not-
say
he can't.
anything. I mean,
He can't.
even Dan, I'm sorry to say, they keep talking. Let's go about these light shows and how we can't see anybody on TV.
Yeah.
And I told him one time, not him, but it was on Nick's Strength and Power. I put a comment. I said, the Olympia is not the quality of stage production as WWE. Okay. You have WWE coming out. It's a different production. It's a different stage.
Yeah.
You had to remember the black backgrounds. Okay. If you want, put the black backgrounds. And if you want to put something, put it around the guys.
Yeah.
Up on top and on the sides. Stop putting these fucking laser light shows. And majority of your income is coming from people on TV watching the pay-per-view.
Yeah,
He keeps saying, I'm sorry to interrupt, but he keeps saying it's bigger and better every year. No, it's not bigger and
It's
better
worse.
Every year. Let's go back to 2000s to 2010,
Yeah.
even 98, 99,
That's what it
Mandalay
was.
Bay, and then Orleans. It was 3 times the size. Now you're at Planet Fitnesses, which is 1/3 the size. Oh, it's packed. No shit, it's packed. It's 1/3 the fucking size of Arynia. And then the convention is a bunch of clowns. There's no athletes there signing pictures. Nobody's there. I went there. I was like, what is this? You have people acting like they're grown adults acting like anime figures.
Yeah.
And a bunch of influencers trying to piss people off, rage bait them, this and that. It all started, and I'm sorry to bring this up, but probably 2000, maybe 14. I'll say it. Kali Muscle with his stupid powder, snorting powder on the table at the convention, slapping people on the back. Come on, what kind of message are you? If you have a kid and you're a grown adult and you're bringing your kid to a bodybuilding convention and you're seeing people snort pre-workout, this is not the message you're trying to convey. Why would you allow that at the convention?
right.
Well, the Arnold Expo versus the Olympia
Arnold,
Expo, night and
that's
day.
a whole different story, bro. Arnold, you have all the Europeans, everybody coming for that. I mean,
They
and
love
now
it.
you have the Olympia now here in Vegas. Nobody goes to the convention. It's dead.
Yeah, I go to both every year. I live in Ohio, so the Arnold's in my backyard.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Yeah.
You know, and like it is not even close. Not even close. I personally I hate Vegas. I don't like Vegas.
Yeah.
It's too much going on, but not enough that I want to do.
Yeah.
You know, it's gamble, drink, and look at hookers. You know what I mean? Like it's not a fun place for me.
Yeah.
But I go because I go to watch the Olympia. But it is like the Arnold is just so much better for fans.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Even
agreed.
as cold as it gets out there, still people arrive.
I
and they
love it.
go,
It's
they
just
watch.
this. I love it, man. It's just a better team with Brian Powers. He knows what he's doing. He's professional. And I'm not talking bad about Dan. I mean, Dan, whatever, Dan. I'm not gonna personally attack these people. I'm just saying it could be better. The Olympia. It could be better expo. It could be better production on the stage with the lighting. It's
so simple, Matt. I don't know what they're making. They're making it
The
very
Masters Olympia, I got my pictures, and when they sent the pictures, first off, their camera people, whoever they chose, they were horrible shit. Those people, because they put everybody in the same message group, so it's so many people bitching and complaining, didn't get their pictures, didn't get their videos. I got mine, way after I was supposed to, but they sent you at least 1,000 pictures. They didn't show you. They sent you every picture they took of everybody.
Oh,
And you sitting up there like, well, damn, now I got to sift through all these.
how you do it.
And then even yourself, you're looking at when you're going into a double bicep, it's 50 pictures before you're into the picture. And it's like, this isn't what you send to people. You know what I mean? Like, it's horrible. I didn't even go look at all of my pictures because I just don't have the time. But then you didn't want to look at it because everybody looked soft as hell. Even the third place guy that was rock hard solid looked completely soft in those pictures because of that stupid background. It was horrible.
Yeah.
They picked a background that's almost the same color as the competitors, so it washed you out. Everybody looks soft. You can't see any conditioning in there.
it just shows that they don't like. Do they care about the athlete? Like, are they thinking about the athlete when they're on the stage, or are they just thinking like this looks cool because the background has all this
They're
shit on
thinking
it?
this looks cool, and they want it bright, they want it loud. But the more bright and loud you have it, the less like
Takes away from the
brilliant the
athlete.
people look.
Yeah.
Like it took away all
The
of
focus
your
from you-
shine. So if somebody's watching the Masters Olympia, it does look like everybody's soft. It look like everybody's out of shape. And then when you get your pictures, all that hard work you put in, and it's like one of the worst stage pics that you're ever going to have.
Sucks. It sucks. Yeah, that's the one thing too. You can't get the good photos. But all right, guys, I want to keep it on too long. I appreciate
All
you
right.
guys joining and taking the time out of your day to do this, and it was good. And we'll be back for the live show on Monday. And appreciate you guys for joining. It was a good,
I
good show.
appreciate it, brother.
Good
All right,
talking.
guys. Thanks,
Yep.
Abbas. Thanks, Walter.
Have a good day.
Yep.
See you guys.
Have a good weekend.
Peace. Yeah.